Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, coming live like every week on Facebook and on YouTube to speak to all you wonderful people about creating opportunities in New Zealand and coming to our beautiful country, whether to study and acquire a fantastic international education or to stay on in New Zealand and utilize our opportunities that are being created by the government of New Zealand to attract talented young people. Well, as you guys know, I come live every week on a Tuesday, and here I am at 12 o'clock India time because that's where most of our clients are coming from at the moment. Although we do cater as a company, which is AJV Services, based in New Zealand. We do cater to people from different nationalities, but at the moment, the bulk of our clients are coming from India, and that's the reason we go live. I go live on Tuesdays at 12 o'clock India time, and my colleague and a senior colleague and a fellow licensed immigration advisor, Mary Joseph, comes live on Friday. So that's my normal routine. The only thing that's different in this particular episode of my coming live is that I'm actually coming live from the beautiful city of Mumbai. I am here in India for a trip, an official trip to meet the head of the immigration department of New Zealand, who have their office here in Mumbai. And I have set up an appointment along with a couple of my senior colleagues to go and meet the head of the immigration department branch in Mumbai, because this is the immigration office that deals with all the student visas and also the affiliated visas of students like spouse visas and kid visa. So, and as an organization, HAV Services is growing quite dramatically year on year, and I think in the next couple of years, we hope to emerge as the largest recruiter for New Zealand institutions for international students. And in keeping with that growth and our aspirations to work in tandem with various government agencies, I decided I'm going to come to India and meet the people at the branch who actually process these student visas and the affiliated visas. So here I am. I don't know if you guys can look through that, share screen behind me, but there's a beautiful view of the beach, and there's some palm trees and stuff behind that. And yeah, here I am. A bit of a long journey from Hamilton. I had to travel, in the middle of the night to go to Auckland because my flight was at 6 o'clock in the morning, and so which means I didn't sleep the whole of that night. And then I came and caught the flight, which went to Sydney, and then there was a change in Sydney. I came from Sydney to Delhi, and then there was a change again in Delhi, and then from there to Bombay, and of course Mumbai, and of course from there I had to catch a taxi and come to my hotel. So it's been a tiring couple of days, and I'm sure it shows on my face. But here I am back to doing what I like doing best, which is to talk to all you people and provide my honest, sincere advice about how we can move to New Zealand. So here we go. Before I start, as always, sharing details of my license, which gives me the opportunity and the legal right to sit here and talk to you about migration possibilities into New Zealand, because the government of New Zealand has come out with what do you call an law, an act which says that not everybody can provide immigration advice about moving to New Zealand. So they came out with an act called the Immigration Advisors Licensing Act 2007, and I had to undergo a course and then also get myself cleared by the police and a few other steps before I was given that particular license, which allows me to sit here and give advice to all you wonderful people. Right. So here we go. I can see a lot of my team members have joined in. As always, I'm supported by my wonderful team on Skype, and they will be supporting me to identify any AJV students. So if you are an AJV student who is going to ask me a question, please identify yourself so that I can modulate my answer accordingly. If you are not an AGV student and you want some information during this session, kindly share your number, because at the least we would like to talk to you and provide you the opportunity to work with AJB, because as I keep saying, there are a lot of companies who will do the admission and visa, but there are very, very, very few people like us, which is AJB Services, who is present in New Zealand and who will work with you and continue to work with you even after you land in New Zealand. All right, guys. So here we go. Okay, let's get started. First question is from Bharati Kannan. And hey, guys, I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going live on two channels on YouTube, which is first one being my own personal channel, second one being the AJV Global channel for our company. And then I'm also going live on our Facebook group, which is called NZ Options. And I'm also going live on our Facebook page, which is called AJV Global. And I tend to have the AJV Global page open or in front of me when I'm doing this. So I would request you guys to come and ask your questions there. Even if you're asking your questions in some of the other forums, my team will copy it and paste it here. But just for all of you who are following this broadcast right now, I want to let you know that I'm actually working from the AJB Global Facebook page. Right, first question, Bharati Kannan says, hi, I got offer from University of Canterbury to pursue my master's. I have urinary infection. Does this lead to rejection of visa? Hey, Bharati, actually a good question, really. And it won't be right on my part to answer a question about urinary infection. I mean, in the sense, it's meant for the panel doctor. The government of New Zealand has appointed certain doctors as the panel doctors, whose job it is to ensure that they vet all those applicants who are applying for a visa to see whether of right health conditions or not. So whether it depends, I guess, on what is the magnitude of this urinary infection. If it's a chronic one, is it something that is sustaining? Is it a temporary one? And all these are essentially decided by a special doctor. If that doctor is still not sure, and then it gets bumped up to somebody called the specialist medical examiner in Wellington, who will then take it. But by and large, I don't think an ordinary urinary infection will be a problem. But since you've shared your number, we will get in touch with you anyway. You have not mentioned if you're working with our with AJV. If you were working with AJV, we would probably would have done research and checked with our contacts within immigration and told you quite clearly. If you're not working with AJV, then unfortunately we will not be able to pursue it too closely. If you still have the opportunity to have yourself represented by us, we would love to take up your case and check with all the different people possible, including the people in INZ in immigration department in New Zealand, and try and get it sorted for you. All right. So, Bharti, I don't think if it's just an ordinary urinary infection that you'll have any kind of a problem per se, but there is a chance that it might get bumped up to the medical examiner, and in that situation, it can get a bit complicated. Suggest you speak to us, because we are a good team of people. There are 3 licensed advisors, me included, in the team, and we have about 6 officers in our organization who are all ex-immigration officers of New Zealand, including some very senior people. And between all of us, we possess enough knowledge and about this entire visa process, and we'll be able to provide you with very, very good information. All right, Bharti, but don't stress too much. I think you should be all right. Okay, cool. All right, Rahul Raghavan says, okay, Rahul says, hi, sir, I'm AJV client. Hi, Rahul, always wonderful to say hi to our AJV clients. Thank you for choosing to work with us. Really appreciate that, and we will support you throughout your journey. You have my word on that. Tell me the advantages or disadvantages in studying GD in engineering technology with civil major in SIT in Wakagal. Okay, advantages of doing this course. Uh, in I was just reading some notes from my team. So the advantages of doing this course in engineering, graduate diploma in engineering technology. Engineering is in our long-term skill shortage list, so you're definitely choosing a good subject. SIT, Southern Institute of Technology, is a very good institution owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. So there is no problem about the credibility of the institution. because you're studying a graduate diploma outside Auckland, because Invercargill is not Auckland, it is outside Auckland. In fact, probably the farthest away from Auckland. You will get a 2 years post-study work visa, and SIT has got a good bunch of people who will support you during your studies and ensure that you have a good transition to your post-study work visa. So those are all the advantages, and the other advantages, Invercargill being a smaller town, the cost of living would be a little lower. So this will be the advantages of studying the GD engineering technology in SIT Invercargill. What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are that Invercargill is not a very big town, so the chances of you finding employment after you complete your course might be a little limited as compared to a larger institution, or a larger, sorry, city rather, not the institution. There is no problem with the institution. I'm just talking about the city. So that could be a disadvantage. What are the other disadvantages? It can get a little cold, being the southernmost city in New Zealand, it might get a little cold. So that might be another disadvantage. What are the other disadvantages? Ideally, if you were doing something higher than a graduate diploma, if you had the IELTS requirement to be able to get into a postgraduate diploma, you could end up getting a 3 year post study work visa, as against a 2 year post work visa. So you get an additional 1 year of work visa, but again, depends on how much of IELTS score you have got. So those are all the advantages and disadvantages I can think of, Rahul. But like I said, some of the disadvantages I mentioned can be overcome by the fact that you are working with AJB, which means we are present for you practically 24/7 to be able to guide you at each and every step, which is something I have noticed from a lot of international students who come to New Zealand, is that they do not have anybody to speak to, especially somebody who is knowledgeable and has got the legal right to be able to advise people and take them from step to step. So that is your biggest advantage, really, Rahul, is that you've chosen to work with AJV, and at any stage in your tenure in New Zealand, we are there a phone call away to come and support you for whatever issues that might crop up. And don't worry, you can complete your course in Invercargill and then, of course, move to other cities, larger cities, for your employment. So again, that is not so much a massive disadvantage. But I've been told by my team that you're also looking at waiting for your offers from ARA and from Lincoln, and also your AUT admission is in process. So let's wait and see which are all the offer letters you get, and then once we have all the offer letters, we can take a final call. All right, Rahul, thank you so much for choosing to work with us. Much appreciated. Which is a massive benefit to people who choose to work with AJV. I also just got the confirmation that Bharti Kannan is not working with us, which is a pity, because if Bharti was working with us, I personally would have picked up the phone and checked with the immigration officers, and I've also gone through the policy to check to see if there is a problem with that urinary infection, and so on and so forth. And Bharti and Rahul and everybody else listening to this is not just today that we will be talking to you. I'm telling you, guys and girls, from my experience as a 50-year-old guy who's been to many countries and has gone through many visa processes, the whole going abroad thing is not a walk in the park. It sounds very good and very nice when somebody gets you an admission and a visa and you're elated, and you take pictures of your visa and put it onto Facebook and say, yeah, flying from Mumbai to Auckland or from Chennai to Auckland, and you put your little Facebook updates. But the problem is, the real drama starts after you land in New Zealand. Till then it is all beautiful, happy, you'll be on cloud nine. But once you land there, and the environment is different, the culture is different, the college sometimes doesn't stand up to your expectations, or the lecturers don't stand up to your expectations. You could get into some kind of problems. You might meet with there could be so many different things that can go wrong, where you will feel depressed, and you kind of question your own judgment about what you, and that is where it is very, very important to have somebody locally present in New Zealand, who is not just talk to you about general stuff, but also give you legal advice, and physical companionship when required, to be able to ensure that you kind of keep crossing all these blocks. So if you guys are really smart, and girls, you must work with somebody like us, because like I said, we are very committed to all of you, and also to the growth of New Zealand as a country, because we want to attract the best talent from different parts of the world to come into our country. All right. Cool. Next question. Just scrolling to see if my team has given me anything. Niveda Ramesh, hi sir, big fan of yours. Thank you, Niveda. Appreciate that. Always look up to you for immigration advice. Thank you very much. That's really good to know. I'm planning to come to New Zealand from India, as dependent on my husband's student visa. What is a minimum amount required in bank? Okay, Niveda, you have not mentioned whether you're working with AJB or not. If you're such a big fan of my immigration advice, the best way to say thank you is to work with my company. All right, Niveda, that's the deal. High five. But hey, look, the money that you're required to have in the bank to show that you are capable of taking care of yourself when you do apply for the spouse work visa is 4,200 New Zealand dollars is what is required to be shown as the amount that is available in the bank. All right, Niveda. And but again, you have not mentioned whether you're working with us or not. I hope you're working with us, including for your husband's student visa, because then we will have all the information about you as a couple and help us to compile your case much stronger and present it to Immigration New Zealand. If you're not working with us, which would be very unfortunate, by the way, Niveda, but I do hope you work with us. But if you're not working with us, please be very, very, very careful that you're not having your spouse visa filed by somebody who does not have a license to deal with non-student visas of New Zealand, because that's what the law is all about. Somebody who is dealing with a non-student visa of New Zealand needs to have that license, otherwise it is illegal. And the officers of Immigration New Zealand are trained to catch applications which are look like they are not presented by an advisor, but there will be somebody working in the background, and then you will end up getting into trouble. So to overcome all these problems, Niveda, simple solution: just pick up the phone, give us a call, and we will take it up from there. Guys, in case you want to work with AJB, that's what you've got to do. I normally have a nice printed sheet which I hold up to give our contact numbers. But because I'm working out of a hotel in Mumbai at the moment, I quickly scribbled it on the back of this pad. So we have set up a toll free number in India, and you guys can call up that number, and one of our wonderful team members will speak to connect with you immediately, or you can just email us at info@ajbglobal.com. If you're already in New Zealand and you want to get some advice, that's the number to text or WhatsApp on. That belongs the one at the bottom to my colleague and fellow licensed advisor Mary, who is also in India at the moment. In fact, she and I are going to be going for this meeting with the immigration department tomorrow. So yeah, but hey, look, just we're still carrying our mobile phones and we're still active as always. So yeah, absolutely. Cool. Let's take it from there. Okay, Niveda, looking forward to working with you and Yasmin. Raju Baghel, sir, what's the scope for CA from India in New Zealand? Hey, Raju, again, yeah, chartered accountancy is a good subject. Like I keep saying in all my sessions, there are certain jobs which are critical to the running of any society: doctors, priests, accountants, so on and so forth. Lawyers are very essential in any society. So the scope for chartered accountants is pretty good in New Zealand. Of course, you will need to ensure that you end up getting that recognition from the New Zealand Chartered Accountants, institute, and so on and so forth. So there is a bit of a process for somebody who has done a chartered accountancy from India to be able to practice in New Zealand. There are certain requirements for you to be able to be registered, and for sometimes it will be required that you also do a course to be able to get that registration. I have actually made a video which is sitting on my personal YouTube, which is called just go to YouTube and type Arun Jacob New Zealand, and that face should come up. And I have put up a video which talks about how chartered accountants can work and and create a future for themselves in New Zealand, and also what are the different opportunities for you guys. All right. So have a look at that, Raju. You've also shared your number with us, so our team will get in touch with you. And when they get in touch with you, please have a nice open discussion. This is to all the people watching this broadcast on the different platforms it's going live on. When our team connects with you guys, don't hesitate to have a good, nice discussion. Like I said, these are all no obligation discussions. From our side, it is our job to ensure that we give you all the right information and give you authentic, honest information and put it in front of you. And if you are able to take that information and take a decision and want to come to New Zealand, we would gladly provide our services. But after you take all the information, if you decide, hey, look, I can't take this up because either it's too expensive or it doesn't fit your plan of plan at your current stage in life, whatever, we'll be quite happy to just have you as friends, and not necessarily as clients. But so don't think that if you share your number, the AJV team will then hound you to come to New Zealand. We are not people like that. We are here to provide you good, honest, authentic information. And if you say, yep, I want to go ahead with this, then we'll provide our service. If you don't want to, we are happy if you continue to follow us on Facebook and share it with your family and friends. We'll be more than happy about that. All right, guys, cool. So don't be afraid to speak to our team. We are here to provide you with good, honest information. All right, cool. Okay, Xavier Ashal Mubashir asked a question, but he has not shared his number, so I'm not answering that question. Xavier Ashel says, hi, sir, I'm planning to study Masters in Business Analytics in New Zealand. Which university is better? I saw Victoria and Canterbury universities. Both the university is good or not? Hey, Xavier, fantastic course to choose. Masters in Business Analytics is a very, very good course to do. The level is good. Level 9 is a master's course. So you will end up getting a 3 years post-study work visa. Both those universities are fantastic. Victoria in Wellington as well as Canterbury in Christchurch. Very, very good institutions. No problems about them. I personally rate them very, very high. So I think you will end up with a very good qualification from a very good university in a very good subject. And if you're coming to New Zealand through AJB, you'll also have a very good advisor to back you and continue to give you immigration advice and any other kind of advice that you require. So overall, I think it's a great thing, package that you have kind of arrived at, Xavier. And we would be absolutely delighted to work with you. So when our team calls, do connect with them and share more details, and we'll put some options in front of you. All right. Thanks, Xavier. Okay. Right. I'm going to keep going, and my team says I've skipped. Okay, I'm at Anish Nirola. Hey, hello, Ron. I'm a recent graduate in electrical and electronics engineer. Can I apply through you as an agent? Also, I would like to know about PR opportunities as well as master's or graduate diploma. How many years of experience do I need to qualify for PR? Hey, Anish, thanks for sharing your number. And plus 977 is I'm thinking, is it Bangladesh or Middle East? I think it's one of those places. Fantastic background, Anish. If you've just gotten your electrical and electronics engineering, this is also in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand at the moment. So very good course, background that you already have. Can I apply through you as an agent? Absolutely. That's exactly what we are here for. Myself and my wonderful team, we are about 35 people. The only reason we exist is to work with people like yourself and help you to move into New Zealand. So please go ahead and pick AJV as your agency. We would love to work with you. And we would also like to know the opportunities, whether for master's or graduate diploma. Well, I mean, if you have the required academic background as well as the English score, Anish, I would encourage you to choose to go for a master's because you end up with a 3 years post-study work visa. But for whatever reason you don't score enough in your English test and you have to step down to a graduate diploma, that's fine as well because you still get a 2 years post-study work visa. How do you get your PR? After you finish your course, you will need to find a relevant job. And because you're coming for electronics and engineering, which is in our skill shortage area, there are a reasonable number of opportunities at the moment. And so you will need to get out there into the market with our help, and we'll provide you guidance how you can approach yourself for a job in New Zealand. Find yourself a relevant job once you finish your course during your post-study work visa period. And once you find the job, again, you can check back with us and we will on the phone, or can meet us and we will tell you whether the job you got has got the right level, the right salary, and all the other required things in the employment agreement for you to apply for a resident visa. So that's how you move up to the to your permanent resident or the PR kind of goal that you're looking for. So that's the reason I keep saying it's a long journey, and I'm glad you're reaching out to us today through this live chat, and you were saying that you want to work with us and be represented by us. I promise you, we will work with you and represent you and guide you throughout this entire journey. All right, Anish, thanks for reaching out. And when my team calls you, please do talk to them, and we will take it forward from there. All right. Okay, so next question is from Litesh Mulya. Hi, sir, your AJV student. Hi, Litesh. Fantastic to hear from my AJV students. Hope you're doing well. Just waiting for IELTS results to come. Coming to Invercargill like a dark horse, but final destination could be Hamilton to settle. Would need your assistance and references? Absolutely, Litesh. That's another one of the things that we provide to all our students coming to New Zealand is that you have a reference from day one when you land in New Zealand. In fact, there are dozens and dozens and so many of our students who have used either my reference or they have used my colleague Mary's reference or Virginia's reference, who's our customer service manager in New Zealand, and she's also an ex-immigration officer from the Immigration Department of New Zealand. So we are there from day one for you, Litesh. Like I said, most other companies, most other agencies will say goodbye to you on the day you get your visa, but we are not like that. We actually say welcome to New Zealand on the day you land. On the day you land in New Zealand, and we'll continue to work with you. So absolutely, you will have our reference from day one. You can put it down. I'll provide you with my number and Mary's number, Virginia's number, and email addresses. You can put it down on your CV. We will also help you how to formulate that CV to New Zealand style and give you a format for a good cover letter so that you can start applying for jobs in New Zealand. And we will provide some background information and also help you with some networking, connect you some of our old students who are already in similar jobs. And so we'll provide a whole lot of support for you guys. And that's really the kind of benefit that you will get coming to New Zealand through AJV. Well, in Invercargill, I just mentioned to some other person who inquired some time back is a good city, not the biggest in New Zealand, but not a bad place to do your course and then move upwards up to the north to Hamilton if you like. Fantastic. Please come to my hometown, which is where I live. I'm not in Hamilton right now. I'm in Mumbai, but hey, look, it'll be wonderful to see you in Hamilton. And we are always there for you at each and every step, Litesh. And yeah, we're looking forward to meeting you in New Zealand, and all the very best. We will stand by you. Okay, don't worry about anything. Okay, Diljit Rajan Shah says hi, sir. Shah Vivek says hi, sir, but Shah has not given his number. He just writes gap accept 10 years. Yeah, I mean, not a problem. We work with uh, okay, we have worked with students who have had much longer gaps than 10 years. Not a problem. Shah Vivek, just share your number and get in touch with our team, and we'd be more than happy to help you. All right, cool. Not a problem with your 10 years gap, by the way, because we are good at compiling those that your entire history, putting into a good application and presenting it into the Immigration Department of New Zealand, and then if they raise some queries, we are also good at answering them, always truthfully and honestly, not by putting in any false information, but just as good, solid professional advisors who will present your case and also show the benefits of admitting somebody like you into New Zealand, because there's also a benefit to the institutions and to New Zealand as a whole. So just go ahead and talk to us, and we will take it up from there. All right. Okay. Jitan Prasad asks. All right. Jitan has not identified himself, but my colleague Navya has identified and said that Jitan is one of our students. Hi, Jitan. Hello from Mumbai, and I hope to see you in New Zealand very, very soon. How can we compare Hamilton with Hawke's Bay, Unitech, and EIT colleges? Hey, look, Jitan, the comparison is that Hamilton and Napier, which is where EIT, Hawke's Bay is. Napier is a city. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see. I think I made one or two videos from Napier where I'm standing on the beach with my selfie stick, and I made a video. So they're both good cities, and I think because they're both good cities, both EIT and Wintec are very good institutions. Both are owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. I think what the bottom line, how you will choose which particular um, institution or city to choose is go through the papers of both of these courses that for which you have an offer, and check to see which are the papers that appeal to you most, and that will kind of help you to choose which one it is. If you're still confused, talk to your AJV advisor and we will run you through one-on-one and ask you about each and every paper. But being a mature student and somebody who's already come through the process of completing a degree, which is the reason you're applying for a GD. Just look at both the papers from both the courses and say, hey, look, which is it that appeals to me more, and then choose that particular course. Because on most other aspects, like size of the city to the institution, credibility, so on and so forth, it's almost on par. So, which is why what will finally define is the papers in each course and what really appeals to you. But if you're a good cricket player, please come to Hamilton because I plan to start a cricket team and you can come and join me. All right. Thanks, Jatin. Look forward to seeing you in New Zealand soon. Cool. Okay. Gyan Prakash has asked a big question, but I did not see what do you call okay, my team says I have skipped one question, which says Leela Gautam, sir, I want to migrate to New Zealand, but I have only high school graduation. I'm doing business here in Nepal. I want to do business in future. How can I migrate? Well, I mean, Leela, unfortunately, with just a high school, it becomes a little difficult, to be honest, because you know, for you to be able to apply for residency in New Zealand, you'll need to get 160 points, which comprises your age, your qualification, your work experience, if you're married, your spouse qualification, and a few other, aspects which all combine to make it 160 points. So with only a high school, it becomes a little difficult, and because you need to have a minimum level of qualification which will qualify for points under the skilled migrant category of New Zealand. So it might be a little difficult, to be honest. And as I keep telling you, I'm the friendly and frank immigration advisor. I don't want to unnecessarily raise your hopes, because it won't be fair on my part to tell somebody who's only got a 10th class pass that, yeah, sure, something is possible to happen. But if you are willing to consider the study and settle pathway, we are willing to examine from our side to see if we can consider your business experience as something in lieu of an education qualification, and try and get you into another course in New Zealand, which will be at that level where you can get points for the skilled migrant category. So we are willing to examine that option, although I must say it's quite limited, the chances. But hey, look, we don't mind spending some time and talking to you, because you've taken the trouble of writing to us, and the least we can do as a courtesy from our side is to talk back to you and examine the possibility. If it is there, we will try and help you. If it is not there, we'll be honest and tell you and not waste your time, money, or effort. All right. Thanks, Leela. Cool. Right, moving on. Okay. Sasindi says why visa is getting delayed. There has been a general, uh, delay from immigration department, Sasindi, because, and this has also been reported in the news, which I have also shared on our Facebook group. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a delay from immigration department. Okay, I'm just keeping on going forward. So I'm trying to manage between both. Cool. Right. Next question is from Karan Thin. How is the scope of diploma in mechanical engineering? Hey, Karan, engineering always a good option, because engineering is in our long-term skill shortage list in New Zealand. So absolutely a good option to choose. The scope is good. Diploma, you haven't mentioned if it's just a 1 2 year diploma or you're looking at the graduate diploma. Irrespective of what you choose, you will be eligible for some kind of a post-study work visa. And yeah, absolutely. I think anybody choosing an engineering kind of a background course in New Zealand right now in the present circumstances is a good choice, because we have a pretty big shortage of engineers in all aspects, not just in mechanical, but also in civil, chemical, all kinds of engineering branches have shortages at the moment. So absolutely a good choice, current to choose, and it's just a question of deciding what level of course you need to be looking at, and we will then take it forward from there. Thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you, and we'll pick it up from there. All right, cool. Right, Sachiv says, hi, I'm Sachiv from India, an AJV client. Hi, Sachiv, good to see that. Uh, all right, and I applied for partner work visa on 8th May, and my spouse class starts on early July. Will I get the visa before July 1st week? I think so, Sacho, because where there is some time. We have the whole of June, and you already applied on 8th of May. So you had about 3 weeks in May, and then there's the whole of June. So yeah, hopefully, I don't think there is much of a problem. My team also tells me that your wife has already received her e-visa. Many congratulations, and I'm quite confident your visa should come through as well. And like I told you, I'm in India with the only intention of going and having a meeting with the immigration department here in Mumbai, which is where all your applications are being processed, whether it is student and spouse. And I'm going to go along with my a couple of my senior colleagues to going to see if we can present them with the kind of work we're doing and those kinds of things. And I'm sure as an AJB client, it will register on them as well, and hopefully they will kind of try and fast track some of our applications. Cool. All right, Sacho, and hope to see you and Arya in New Zealand soon. Thanks for choosing AJV. Much appreciated. Okay, here is a very interesting name. There is somebody called Guido Torpedo who's written a very strange question, which I will not talk about here because I don't know, it doesn't seem relevant to what we are doing here on this chat right now. Right. Next question is from Satpreet Singh. I have 6 years work experience in IT industry and have master's degree in mechanical engineer. Can I apply for MBA degree, which can help me to get PR? Hey, look, Satpreet, very good background. 6 years work experience is brilliant, by the way. As against MBA, you could possibly look at doing something in project management because you also come from the IT industry, and project management might be a bit more useful for somebody like you who comes from a technical background like IT. So if you combine your 6 years work experience with a project management course, it might kind of help you to fast track and move faster into the job scenario after you complete your course. Some of the other options you can consider is to do a higher course in IT, because you seem to have a mechanical engineering background but you got experience in IT. So how about doing a postgraduate diploma in information technology, perhaps, because you can kind of consolidate all this IT knowledge that you have over the last 6 years. So that might be another option I would like you to consider very seriously. In fact, I'm recommending either one of these other courses more than an MBA, because you're a technical guy, and I would like to see technical people trying to pick up courses which are also technical in nature, because in New Zealand the requirement is for technical people, and that is where most of the shortages are. So it'll be awesome if we can continue in that same line. Satpreet, is my recommendation, unless and until you have some seriously strong reason to do MBA. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, we'll be happy to help you with the MBA. But purely as an advisor who understands the scenario in New Zealand, I would encourage you to look at something which is technical in nature, like doing a postgraduate diploma or a master's in IT, because that's where your core expertise is, and that's where also your pathway to the future residency or PR becomes a lot easier, because you're kind of moving from technical to technical to technical kind of a pathway, and as against technical MBA, which is kind of non-technical really, and then to be able to get residency or PR. And if you do an MBA, then you'll need to get a course job related to the MBA you have completed. But if you're doing an IT course, it becomes so much more easier to get a job in IT, because that's your background. So that's the reason I would strongly encourage you to look at an IT course or a project management course, and hopefully that'll get you going for all your future aspirations. But hey, look, have a chat with our team, and that's where you guys can get in touch with us. If you are in India, you can call us on that toll free number, or you can just email us at info@ajvglobal.com. If you're already in New Zealand and you need some advice, that's where you can reach us. 02260526115. Send us a text or WhatsApp my wonderful colleague Mary, and we will get talking to you guys. All right, cool. Akshay Kumar. Wow, it's hot in Bombay, and I switched off the air conditioning because it was making a lot of sound. So now it's beginning to get quite humid here, and hope I don't break out into a big sweat here right now. Okay, Akshay Kumar. Hi, sir, AJB student. Hi, Akshay. Always a pleasure to say hello to my students. If we have two degrees in the same time, one regular and other distance degree, there are some backlog in regular and past and distance degree in this situation. Can we take admission with the distance degree in New Zealand? I mean, actually, I don't see any problems to be honest, because okay. Yeah, I don't think there is a problem really with the distance education, Akshay, because I just also got some background about you from my team, and it looks like you're applying for some really high-end courses, which is fantastic because you're looking at GIS and those kinds of courses. So as far as the distance degree is concerned, New Zealand doesn't have an issue really, so to speak, as long as the distance education is from a creditable institution like IGNU or one of those more well-known distance education providers in India. So overall, I don't think distance education is a problem because I remember I have dealt with quite a lot of students in the past who have come from a distance education background, and we have absolutely successfully managed to help them to move into New Zealand. And some of them today are sitting in New Zealand as residents and citizens. So no problem. We should be able to work with you. All right, Akshay, continue to speak to our team and we will ensure that everything is sorted out for you. And by the way, fantastic course choices, Akshay. Really, really happy with the courses that you're choosing. You're the kind of people we want in New Zealand because you guys bring in such fantastic skills with you. And we as a country are wanting to have those skills to help us build our own country and our economy and our knowledge base, is what's happening. So warm welcome to New Zealand. I would love to work with you, Akshay. All right, cool. Sindhura Virla says, hi, I want to study in New Zealand, so please suggest me details, sir. Sindhura, like I said, we would be happy to provide all the details. Unfortunately, you have not provided your contact number, but what you can do, Sindhura, is just do one of those two things. Either you can call that number on top if you're based in India, which I think you are from your name. So you could call us on that toll-free number or email info@ajvglobal.com. Please ensure that your contact number is there, Sindhura, so that we can get in touch with you and provide you with all the information. And hey, look, Sindhura, we are absolutely the reason we exist as a company is to help, smart young people like you to come and study in New Zealand and then hopefully move into a career and eventual residency. So we would be delighted to work with you. What makes us special as an organization, as a company from a lot of other play people is that most other people help you with an admission and visa and then say goodbye, thank you very much. We are not people like that. We not only do your admission and visa and say goodbye in India, but we also pick you up in New Zealand and say welcome to New Zealand, and then our association starts again from there. And our offshore team, which is based here in India, will do a wonderful job. It is headed by a very senior ex-immigration officer, the offshore team here. And then once you reach New Zealand, it is headed by another very senior colleague of mine. And together we provide that offshore onshore combination, and which is why it is a complete end-to-end solution. And that's the reason we urge all you people to work with us, because it's for your good, guys and girls. It's not just about us, but it's for you as well. Would you not want to go to a foreign country and have friends and references from day one who will stand by you and help you not only as friends but as professionals, because we are also licensed and we are people who live in New Zealand, and we know how things work there, and we can help you to do a lot of networking and stuff like that. All right, cool. All right, looking at some of my comments from my team there, nothing alarming at the moment. It's all good. Shoaib has asked me a question. No number, unfortunately. So I'm not able to answer that. Shoaib, please change your, sorry, share your contact number Ronnie say has also okay, applying for has asked a question, but not mentioned his number. So unfortunately, not able to answer Ronnie either. And Sindura has another question. Um, asking about which course she needs to select in case her husband needs to come to New Zealand to work on a spouse work visa. Sindhurite has to be a level 9 or a 10, which is a master's or a PhD. Otherwise, he will not be able to work. He can only come on a visitor visa. So we will wait for you to get in touch with us, and then we will provide you with more information, Sindhura. But we are definitely here to help you. All right. Okay. Peregrine says Hippolito. Hello from Dubai, Arun Saab. Hi, Peregrine. I'm an AJV client. Thank you very much. And would like to ask your thoughts about Wintech or ARA. I received offer of place from both of these institutions. Okay, Peregrine, you have put me into absolute trouble because both of them are fantastic institutions, and both of them in both those institutions, I have some wonderful friends in both ARA as well as Wintech. Okay, briefly, Wintech is based in Hamilton, the same city where I am based in. Stands for Waikato Institute of Technology, government owned and operated Institute of Technology. ARA was previously called Christchurch Polytechnic Institute of Technology, or CPIT, based in the city of Christchurch. Again, a fantastic institution which has now recently changed its name to ARA. Fantastic institution. Both these institutions, we have sent tons of students over the years, and they're all done really well. So, quite frankly, both of them are equally good. I will not be able to pick one over the other uh, because, like I said, they're both really good institutions. And so, I would say take a look at the papers, take a look at the two courses, and to go to the website of both these institutions and take a look at that courses and get down into the papers of course from Wintech, and then get down into the papers of course from ARA. See which of those papers jumps out at you. Like for instance, if I were to choose two courses in business, I will definitely should pick more and more papers from marketing and digital marketing and so on and so forth, as against let's say some other business courses got accounting or finance. And so because finance and accounting is not something that appeals to me really, so I would pick those that diploma, or that course in business which has got papers that appeal to me more. So that's what you need to do, Peregrine. But otherwise, I think your choices of both the institutions is very good. And if you want to be in Hamilton, that's where I live. Warm welcome to Hamilton. It's a beautiful city, but so is Christchurch. Christchurch is much larger than Hamilton, of course, so the possibility of job opportunities could be much higher. So yeah, like I said, both have their pros and cons, and I think the only thing that really should determine your choice eventually should be the papers in both those courses. Read those papers and see what appeals to you, and then pick it up, Peregrine. All right, but hey, cool. It's awesome to say hello to somebody from Dubai, and especially one of my own AJV clients. Thank you very much. Shukran.